Welcome to the CBC podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on the home of modern dating, entrepreneurship, current events, interpersonal relationships, collectibles, and many other things. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the channel on your way in. We appreciate it very much. And first of all, guys, this is going to be a little bit of a special show today. First of all, I want to take this time as we enter the end of 2023. I want to take this time to say thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. We really appreciate you joining us for the journey here in 2023. We reached our milestone of over 200 subscribers. I know that sounds like a small number. It may sound like a small number to you or to a lot of other YouTubers, but hey, for us, it's actually a pretty big milestone. I mean, we have some modest goals here. We understand that it's a long, hard uphill slog trying to gain traction on YouTube, especially when you are pushing messaging that's maybe not considered mainstream. If you're going against the grain a little bit, if you're kind of red pilling it a bit more versus the mainstream narrative and latching on to whatever narratives that they're pushing. If you do that, we already know that me and Amina talk about it all the time. We would have been able to probably have 10,000 subscribers right now if we went that route. Like if we went the route of, let's just push the mainstream narrative and let's push whatever is the popular topic, and let's pretend that we're on board with that so that we can get, fake it till you make it, right? Guys, I've talked to YouTubers who do that, who have done that to blow up their channels to gain traction. You know what, man? I don't knock anybody's hustle at the end of the day. We all have to determine how we want to go on this journey. We know what path are we going to take. Guys, I'm big on integrity. If nothing else, I believe that if you keep your word and what you tell people, you actually practice, what you preach. And I would never come on here and push a narrative that I didn't believe in. I would never do that for any amount of clicks, any amount of likes, any amount of sponsorships that, somebody comes with a check and says, hey, Hassan, here's a check for X if you push this or if you push that, if you pretend that you're on board with this or you pretend you're on board with that. Because that's what a lot of these guys do, guys. I'm sorry. It's just the fact that I follow YouTubers. I'm not calling anybody's names out. I'm not trying to take food off of anybody's plate. But the reality of the situation is that there are many paths forward in this space. And the path that I am choosing and that my sister's choosing is we are choosing a positive messaging path and being part of the solutions business versus being in the problems business. See, that's something that I talk about all the time, guys. I am in the solutions business at the end of the day. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, what that means is that, guys, I like to focus on, once we identify the problem, I like to focus on the solution versus focusing on the problem, right? What a lot of people have a problem with is they identify the problem. Okay, we know what the problem is. Let's not focus on that, though. Let's focus on a solution to that problem. The problem is that people have an incessant focus. I've worked for people like this. It's very difficult to have a manager like this. That, okay, we know it's a problem. We know, we've identified it. Okay, let's talk about the solution now. Let's stop talking about the problem. And that's the issue, is that some people just keep talking about the problem without discussing a potential solution. Who am I talking to today? So now that I've got the thank yous out of the way, guys, and once again, we thank you very much for joining us on this journey. We look forward to bringing you better content in 2024. 2023 was better than 2022 for us, and that's all that I'm taking with me as success. If it was better than the prior year, it was successful, right? So now, what are our goals for 2024? Well, hey, I want to be at 1,000 subscribers, by the summertime. That's my goal. Am I going to get there? I don't know. But I'm going to try like the Dickens to get there. And hopefully you help us with that journey. With that being said, I am making an announcement today. Today, guys, I'm announcing we are launching. I have mentioned before on previous channels, or previous, I should say, podcast episodes. I am also in the collectibles business. I have a company called Intelligent Collections, LLC. I incorporated that in April of 2022. I've always, guys, been a big collector in terms of, I tell the story all the time. I remember my dad, the very first comic book I ever bought was an X-Men classic. And I remember where I was. I remember the smell that was in the car. I remember everything about that moment. I was with my dad. We went to 7-Eleven. And at that time, we had newsstands, right? All you collectors out there, we talk about newsstand copies all the time, right? You had a spindle and you spin it around and, oh, it's a copy that you want, right? There was an X-Men classic with the whole team on the front, classic team, right? It's a reprint, right? But that might as well have been the real X-Men #1 for me, right? Because I had $5. My dad was like, hey, that's my dad, right? Like, hey, dad, get some money, let me go get some soda, let me get it. And I go to the newsstand, right? And I had to hurry up because my dad's doing his thing. You better hurry up. My dad moved fast in the store too. My dad be in there, so I better hurry up. So I go to the newsstand, boom, I get a soda, bang, I get a candy bar, bang. I bought $5. I still had about $1.50 left after I bought all that stuff, right? Can't do that anymore. But I was happy as heck. And we drove, and I think we were actually driving to Charleston, and I was in the back, like, reading that thing, man. I read it probably like 8 times, right? That was the first comic book I ever bought. So it's not surprising that right now, today, as I talk to you, X-Men is still my favorite team of all time. That will never change. My personal collection, mostly X-Men and Star Wars. Those are the 2 things that I personally collect in terms of comic books: X-Men, Star Wars, and I have some niche things that I also collect, maybe on a smaller level, but I would say like 85% of my collection, 80% personal collection, is X-Men and Star Wars. Now, CWC, as we obviously, at the end of the day, we're a media company at this point, because what I have realized, and that's what I wanted to talk about today, guys, really is going back to focusing on the solution. If you are a collectibles or a card shop owner south of Lake Worth, I've been in your shop over the last 60 days. If you're watching this right now, come on, guys. Yeah, I look very distinct, right? Who's the mixed looking guy, right? And I talk a lot, right? I come into your shops, guys. I like to talk. I'm here on a podcast today. I like to talk, right? My ex-wife used to tell me, you talk too much. I'm a social person, guys. I can't help it. I understand that it might be taboo or whatever it is these days, because I know a lot of you guys, quite honestly, y'all are too rigid, man. Yeah, y'all guys are way too rigid. And what I'm about to, I got some smoke for you dudes, okay? So I have been, over the last 2 months, on a journey to expand my business, my collectibles business. So I've been in a learning phase for the last 60 days, right? What does that mean? Well, I've been going to shops. I've been talking to owners. I've been asking what sells. I've been asking what's not selling. I'm asking what trends are they following. I've been in your shop. If you're watching this right now, as a card shop owner, collectibles, I've been in antique shops talking to people. That's what I call market research. That's what I call doing legwork, right? To get information, because how am I going to succeed in this space if I don't know what's going on? I need to talk to people who are doing better than me, right? I have an online store. I don't have a physical store, right? So I need to know, what are the differences between, hey man, what's selling online versus in the physical store? When people come in here, what are they looking to buy, right? Now, what I have found, contrary to what you will hear online and you hear, in the blogosphere and whatnot, you hear people talk a lot of crap about millennials, right? These kids. But you know what I've learned, bro? I like to I give everybody a chance to prove themselves to me. I don't just take somebody's word for, oh, these millennials stink, or these people are that. Is it what I've learned? The 2 shops that I go to most are owned and run by millennials. I'm going to call 2 of them out right now because they deserve a shout out. I'm going to shout out Pull Wax in Miami. I work with David down there all the time. Me and that guy have become actually probably friends at this point. You know what I mean? Because I'm in there all the time. Why? One of my best friends lives about 10 minutes from that shop. So if I go down to visit, I jump on a Brightline, 10 minutes to Aventura, Bang, I'm over at Pool Wax. Why am I over there? Because those guys get it. They they understand the market that we have. See, guys, you legacy guys need to understand something. You trade the market that you have, not the one you wish you had. I learned that from an investment manager, a stock investment manager, because I remember like being invested in a basket of stocks, right? I'm like, man, this thing is not performing. What's going on? It should be performing, right? It should be based on fundamentals. Well, it's not. And I was frustrated, right? My money manager said, Hassan, you trade the market you have, not the one you wish you had. And I was like, I was like, yo, that was deep. Like it sounds simple, but it was deep. I was like, yo, he's right. I used to trade precious metals. I used to be in a precious metals space. I used to see the same stuff, right? I would see trends. I remember when futures, people were trading futures and options. I said, and there were people that didn't like that. Like there were people that were like, these guys, these options guys are messing up the market. That's the same thing that's happening in the sports car space, guys. That's the same thing that's happening right now. What I have seen, I'm 46, right? Most of you owners that I go into your shops, you're in my age bracket, right? So I would expect better conversations from you guys. That's not the case. It's not. You guys are boring, bro. I'm going to tell you right now. You guys are rigid. You guys are boring. You know what you guys have forgotten? They're called hobby shops for a reason. Hobby. You guys have forgotten what hobby means. Real talk. You guys, you know what guys, I have enough data now to make an educated guess about what I've seen in this space. It's very territorial. It's very good old boy network stuff going on that I've seen, guys. And then what I'm seeing is that you legacy guys are blaming the young guys, but it ain't them, man. Those guys are just trading the market that they have. What does that mean? When I go into Pool Wax with my slabs and my cards and I'm looking to make moves, I'm going in there with a purpose, right? I'm at work. That's work, right? It takes me time to put my slabs into my card. When I say slab, I'm talking about graded cards or comics, whatever it may be, collectibles, plaques, whatever it is, pictures. Collectibles is very broad, right? I take it in the car, right? I go down to these shops. I go in there and I look to trade. It's currency, right? I look to trade. Hey, man, I got this. I'm looking to trade into that, or I'm looking to get this, or I'm looking to get that. What can we do on this? When I go to Loop, which is down in Wynwood, shout out to them. I heard bad things about them too. So I expected the worst until I went there. And then I got there and then I actually spoke to the people. And I was like, these guys are lying. These legacy dudes are lying. These guys, these younger dudes, guess what? They're knowledgeable too. I would expect the legacy guys to be the ones that are able to talk stats and about this player and about that player and about this, but it's the younger dudes though. They're the ones talking about that. And guess what? They like it when you come through the door. Like they see you coming in with slabs. It's exciting because they're, what does he have, right? I might have something that they need in the shop. We trade, right? Do we get a deal done every time? No. But I would say 75, 80% of the time that I go in there, it's not a wasted trip. I either get a deal done, I get information, I definitely get laughs because we sit in there and we just talk and laugh all the time. Because it's a hobby shop. Guys, we need to get back to that. Like, I remember when I was 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, my mom working at the YMCA, we had a shop called Famous on the top of the hill. I would come home from school, come to the YMCA, go running down. Hey, mom, you know what I mean? Can I get $5? I would go through my mom's purse. I used to rob my mom too, bro. My mom would be like, "There's some money in my purse." Hey, mom, you used to have this change piece on the side that you had a bunch of change in there. And I would take that change and you never knew about that. So just told on myself. But I used to do that, right? And then guess what? My boys were upstairs. They were waiting like, "Hey, man, let's go." And so we go to Famous, right? Guess what, bro? He had a lounge area in there. Like we could sit back there and guess what? I might buy packs of Marvel comic cards. He might buy basketball. He might buy baseball. And then we go and we might sit at the table and we might trade cards. Right? Yeah. Oh, yo, you got this guy for that guy. Oh, yo. It's a hobby shop. What happened to that? Like that's what I'm seeing, guys. The hobby is out of the shop. You legacy dudes, y'all know who you know who I'm talking to, bro. Because y'all are looking at me, y'all know I've been in your shop, bro. And if you don't see me in your shop again after this video, it's because I can't do business with you. Because what happens is, guys, if I'm coming in there, at least give me your due diligence, right? At least take a look at what I have and say, hey man, oh, you know what? And listen, just like they do at Loop. At Loop, guess what? 99% of the time they make you an offer. It might not be, guys, we're in a down market. It's a bear market, right? So just like every other market that I've seen, it's the same thing in this space. Nobody wants to buy when there's blood in the streets. Everybody wants to buy when it's at nosebleed levels. When it's in the floor and there's literally blood running out of the gutter, nobody wants to buy anything. I do. Yeah, I do. Like, guys, if it's a buyer's market, it's a buyer's market for all of us, right? Well, the same prices apply to me. So right now it's great for me because I am building inventory. So it's great for me. Is my inventory down in value? Yes. But so is yours. So I can get more for less, right? We got to start getting back to making deals, guys. Guys, I'm a deal maker, right? Go to Loop right now. Ask them. They be like, dude, that dude's in here all the time, man. He talks a lot too. But guess what? You know what's beautiful about it? I'm in there 2 days ago. A man walks in from New Jersey with his son. They're on vacation. He hears me talking to one of the workers at Loop about the market, about this price, this player, that player. We're having a wonderful conversation, bro. So contrary, you legacy guys, they keep saying that these young guys don't know what they're talking about. Oh, these guys are just gamblers. They're just speculators. They don't know what they're doing. They messed up the market. They destroyed the price of wax. They did. You know what happened, bro? Y'all legacy dudes started doing the same thing. That's what I'm saying. So you guys are complaining about wax. But when I say wax, guys, we're talking about sealed packs of cards or boxes of cards, hobby boxes or retail boxes. So the biggest beef that I'm hearing from the legacy guys is that, well, the game is all messed up now because you have all these breakers and you have all these whatnot guys and you have all these influencers. They hate influencers. See, but you know what I do? I look to partner with influencers, right? Because it can help build my brand, right? So why are we shooting the people that can help us? Guys, what I want to do in this space, because I'm here now, I'm not going nowhere. See, that's the other thing I'm announcing to y'all today. I'm not going anywhere. So if I'm here now, I'm in the space. I'm here. I live here locally, South Florida. You will see me in your shop. A lot. I'm shouting you out. The majority of my business I do with Pool Wax. I do with Loop. I probably do 80% of my business with those two shops, which were the two shops that I was told you can't get nothing done with them. Don't believe everything you hear, because what I have seen, those guys. The younger dudes understand that the market is down. They understand that it was up at one time. We get it, guys. It's a cycle. It goes up and down. You legacy dudes you know what y'all want to do? Y'all want to sell. Yeah, right now, y'all don't want to buy anything. Nothing. Like if somebody comes in with a here, guys, Fanatics, do y'all want to solve something here? Like, so Fanatics has taken over the space, right? Everybody's saying we're going to have big consolidation in the collectible space, in the card space in 2024 as Fanatics comes in. Guys, I actually like Fanatics, the stuff that I'm able to order from them in terms of, they have a lot of West Virginia swag that I could order for my mom, right? I like Fanatics, their gear is great. They're taking over the card space. Listen, man, it's fine. I don't know enough to feel one way or the other about it yet. But if they want to fix something, they need to fix. If we as a community can build, and this is a challenge come on, man. We have AI now, right? We have AI, we have data, we have all these apps, right? You've got Card Ladder, you got Market Movers, you got eBay, you got Golden, and all the completed listings that you can look at. So we have enough data, guys, to build a robust system for comps. The biggest problem that I see in this space, the sports card space specifically, is comps. What are comps? Comparable sales. The problem that I see is that, number one, nobody wants to set that next comp. What does that mean? So let's say that I have a card, right? That's a graded PSA 10, meaning it's a perfect copy of the card, right? It's graded by PSA. It has a certification number. We can agree that that card is probably worth $200, right? For example's sake, right? But if you take that card into a legacy shop, I guarantee you they're not going to buy it. Not right now, because the market's down. So they don't want to take the risk of buying that card and setting the market of that price. Because at the end of the day, I know it's only one or two of them that exist, right? So I say, okay, this card, there's only 2 PSA 10s. I control the market because I have both. I'm not going to auction the card so that it goes on eBay for $46 so that now you guys can turn around and say, oh, well, that's the last comp. Y'all know what y'all are doing too, man. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all know who I'm talking to. Y'all know who I'm talking to, man. Stop with the comp stuff, man. Y'all dudes know what's up. We need a better system where we can say, stop with this last auction stuff, guys. Y'all know that's not a real number. Y'all know it. So, but what y'all are doing is y'all will use that auction on eBay comp that, you know, for example, I'm cutting a deal 2 days, 3 days ago, right? I thought I was cutting a deal. There was no comparable sale for the card that I had while I was on my way to the shop. When I got there, by that time, and the guy was checking prices, there was a sale that hit. It was a mistake though. What do I mean? Somebody accidentally ran I think it was a 3-day eBay auction, or maybe even 1 day. But you could tell that it was a mistake because the auction ended at like $1.99. That's not a real sale. That's an anomaly, and you know it. But what does this guy say? Oh, well, there's a comp for it now. I'm like, there's no comp. Oh, one sold last night. I'm like, where did? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh man, and it was a PSA 10. So I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Then I'm like, but, and I look at the number. I was like, but hold on, man, that's not the real number. You know what he said? Well, it's still a sale. Come on, bro. But guess what? I will not be back in your shop. You know who I'm talking to. I don't have to say any names. I will not be back in your shop because you know that's not a sale, dude. You know it's not. But you're going to try to use that so that, what do you think? Man, this is not 1990, bro. See, y'all legacy dudes, what y'all used to do, y'all were used to ripping people off. I still have a friend that's pissed right now because he lost his Clyde Drexler rookie card to a liar in a shop. We were 13. He had a Clyde Drexler rookie card, man, Fleer rookie card. The owner said, took a look at the card, and you could tell he wanted it. Oh, he tells us on the back, oh, you can tell by these print lines right here, this is a counterfeit card. We're 12, bro. We don't know that. And guess what? At that time, the dealer was holding all the cards. He had the cards, literally. He had the Beckett and the Wizard. He was the only one who knew what fair market value was. We couldn't afford a Wizard subscription. My mom wasn't about to afford no Wizard subscription for me. So we have to go on. We have to take your word for it. We found out, bro. Like you ripped off a 12-year-old, man, and you probably know who you are too. You know what I'm saying? So now the playing field is level. Now everybody has access to information. I'm in the shop the other day. I'm having a conversation. You guys talking about these millennials don't know nothing. I'm talking to a 13-year-old kid, man, who was running off stats like this. He was bad, bro. 13. How did that conversation start? Because it's a hobby shop. He saw my cards on the table. He was like, oh, you see he's a soccer kid. He saw I had a Phil Foden card. Nobody knows who Phil Foden is unless you watch soccer. You know, the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? EPL. You don't know him. He did. He's like, oh, yo, you got the Phil Foden. He's looking at the card. Guess what? He made me an offer on the card in the shop, my man. That's hobby. That's hobby. Where you can be in a shop, somebody hears you talking, he's over there. I'm not even talking to the owner. He came over. Oh, yo, he saw the card from over here. He made me an offer on the card. I didn't sell it because I'm not selling that card right now, but he was like, hey man, what do you want for that right now? 13. And he was dropping stats. Y'all legacy dudes don't even know stats no more, man. That's what I see. That's what I see. Y'all don't know stats. Y'all dudes don't. Dude, you come into a legacy shop, y'all dudes don't have time to talk about anything, man. Y'all ain't talking about numbers, stats. What happened to that? When I used to go in the hobby shops, that's what we talked about. We talked about what players were hot, what stats, y'all dudes ain't talking about nothing. You know what y'all are talking about? The price of wax. I'm up on y'all, bro. I'm up on y'all, and y'all know it. Y'all see, y'all are dissing all these younger dudes. Oh, they screwed up the wax game. So now y'all are in the wax game. Here's what I'm saying to you, legacy guys. Why don't you guys just become retail wax shops then? That's what I think you should do. I'm serious. I'm serious. If you are not going to get back into the hobby shop experience, because I'm telling you now, somebody's going to lose over the next 5 years. This industry is changing rapidly. And I know you legacy dudes do not like change. I get that. I get that. Yep. How do I know? Because when I've been there talking to you guys hate influencers. You hate social media. When I'm sitting there like, guys, I'm not a big time influencer, but I understand the value of this. Y'all need to get on board instead of shooting these dudes. Why don't you try to partner with these guys? Can't we grow the community better if we work together? But when I go to these shops, you guys are talking bad about these shops and that shop, and these guys are like this and that. But then when I go to them shops, I'm not having that experience. I'm having a great experience. I at least feel like I'm gonna get a deal done if I go in there. You go in these legacy shops, y'all do still think it's 1987, 1992. Y'all will go in there and you will offer, like, come on, man, we not a kid off the street, man. And when I come in there, I announce myself, I introduce myself, I tell you that I have a business, I'm a small time dealer, I set the table. That should let you know, don't try to get over on me, man. I know the game, please. Because if you try to get over on me, I will never come back in your shop. If you do not take the time to do the due diligence with me as a customer, when I come in there, and if you don't give me realistic comps on my cards, then what are you doing in business, man? You need to just go be a retail shop. That's all I'm saying. You need to go just put it on. I mean, just that's fine, bro. I have everybody is free to run their business the way they see fit. But if you're a hobby shop, if you are a car dealer, your goal should be to be, you know what, man? Before I wrap up, anybody who's in the card space knows who Jeff Wilson is, right? Sports card investor. Now, a lot of people, I listen to several influencers, man. I listen to Card Collector 2. I listen to Jeff Wilson, Teapot, Neo Cards and Comics. Shout out to him. Journal Comics. Shout out to him. I'm shouting you guys out at the end of the year here because you guys are the guys I listen to. When I'm shaving in the morning, taking a shower, I'm listening to you. Why? Because you guys are more successful than me. You guys are making moves. Neo Cards and Comics. Specific, bro. We know the market's down. But guess what? He's still working. This dude is working, bro. He's making moves. He's making videos. He's telling you what to buy. He's looking at players. He's looking at stats. Like this guy. Hey, these prices are down. We might want to look at this. That's a hobby. That's a hobby, bro. Right? When that's the experience I'm looking for. When I go to Pool Wax, that's what we talk about. Stats, players, games, potential. Ain't that the hobby? But I hear you guys dissing these dudes. Oh, Card Collector 2, it sucks. And can them guys be a little annoying? Sure. But guys, they're entertainers. And they're also kids. They're young men, man. And y'all guys act like y'all was never 20, bro. That's the thing I see. Y'all act like you was never 20, 22, 25. Y'all rigid dudes need to stop. And again, I didn't call nobody out because I don't believe in sabotaging people's business. I'm not going to sit here and I will never go. In fact, I still like those legacy dudes. They serve a purpose in the space. I like them. But I just don't agree with their business strategy. I don't agree with the way that they, because what you guys have done, at least it's from what I'm seeing, you guys are doing the same thing that the younger dudes are doing. You're just wanting to be a wax dealer at this point. And I guess that's fine. Like I said, that's okay. I even had a dude tell me, like I had a shop owner tell me, he said, I can't buy any cards right now off the street because I have to hold back X number of dollars for allocation for wax. So I can't afford to do nothing else. So that kind of told me, all right, I see what's up. See, y'all dudes aren't even in the game no more, if you ask me, because the game of the shop is when someone brings a collection in, you take the time to go through the collection. What happened to that? Like, I see that happen at those two shops that y'all say don't do business. Like, I've been standing there. when somebody comes in with a collection and they take the time to go through it. They sit down, they go through it. They don't look at it like, oh, this is a waste of my time. I wouldn't be interested in any of that. I had a dude do me like that. I'll never be back to your shop, bro. And you know who I'm talking to. Because if I take the time, I do business with you. I come in there, I buy stuff off you all the time. All the time. Twice a week. But then when I come in there, I need some liquidity. I'm looking to move a few slabs. I'm looking to move a few singles. You never want to buy nothing. Never. Like not and if it is an offer being made, it's so below. As I wrap up, guys, let me just say this. If you guys want to play the comp game, I want you to go and do two things, legacy guys, because most of y'all don't have stickers on your products. They do at those two shops. They have them at Loop. They have them at Pull Wax. When you look at the card, it has a sticker. That's called transparency. So at least I know where we are, where we start the negotiation. If there's a $100 sticker, we start from there. Y'all dudes don't even have stickers on y'all stuff, and I know why. Because you want to be able to just make the price up. What you want to do is wait till the person is checking out. Let me give you an example, and I'll leave you with this. I was in Loop last week. I saw an autograph card in the case. I knew the sticker was wrong. I was like, that seems cheap. I asked my man to take it out the case. He looked at it, and it was numbered. I was like, oh, it's really low now because it's numbered on the back, right? He price lookups. He says, hey, man, oh. And I told him, I said, hey, man, you're low on that one. He's like, oh, yeah. He could have repriced it for $50 right there because that was the going rate. You know what he told me? He said, do you want it for $25? He said, if you say no, I'm going to reprice it right now. I said, I'll take it. And I said, hey, man, and I looked at him. I said, you just made a customer for life. Because that's customer service. That's the hobby. Not repricing it at the register based on the last comp that you want to go buy, guys. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Because when you're going to sell something, all of a sudden you're using the higher comp. But when we go to trade something, all of a sudden you want to use the auction comp. We know what you're doing. But you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because again, if you don't want to get with the game, if you don't want, guys, you don't get to just sit it out. When it's a bear market, it doesn't mean that you just sit it out and don't do anything. I mean, if you do that, you're going out of business. You're going out of business. And I don't know how well or not well you guys are doing. And I know a lot of y'all got burned during the bubble. And I know y'all bought a lot of inventory that you're sitting on that is stale. I get it. I totally get it. Everybody's in that boat. But you trade the market that you have, not the one that you wish you had. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe to the channel. We're coming to you 2024 with more content. CWC Collectibles is coming. We're out.